Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man. Achane Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. There's a poll in the description of the video, so if you want to vote on this right here, we'll do some other polls tonight. But boy, are we here. You hear that sound? That's the sound of Achane on his horse, heading to the end zone.
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
What I meant to say was touchdown probability, 2 touchdown probability high, because Achane came out sluggish, slow. Everybody was DMing me. Comments in the YouTube videos prior to, this one. Go look at them. It's like, where's your Achane, Smitty? And like 2 or 3 backtracking bobbies went in and deleted their comments. They're like, where's Achane, Smitty? Where's Achane? Where's your Oh, touchdown. Where's your... Okay, delete this. How do I delete this? Ma, how do I delete the comment? They're just people left and right. First quarter Freddy's just freaking out. But Devon Achane said, no. 17 totes, 73 yards. Not 1, but 2 rushing touchdowns. 2 rushing touchdowns. Marker on my finger. 2 rushing touchdowns. And then what? Oh, how about 3 receptions for 30 yards? How about a 25-point performance? How about we take a look at the top RBs for the week? Oh, what do you know? Alvin Kamara barely bested him with 28.9. Achane so far, running back 2 on the week. But Smitty, it's his first game back. But Smitty, he's little. They won't give him the football, Smitty. How's he going to do it? Devon Achane, no. To the moon?
To the moon.
I don't think so. Devon Achane to Saturn?
To Saturn.
I believe so.
You've has been Smitty approved.
And that I can't believe there's still people. I can't believe there are still people hating Harrys out there. El Goat, no offense, but I don't recognize you. I've never seen you in here in my life. They're never somebody you know. They're always brand new. They wander in. I don't know if they create an alternate account or what. But El Goat 25 says yes, but he's clearly not the starter. Come on, bro. Come on. Achane literally has more 40-plus yard runs than anyone in the National Football League heading into today. And number one, and tied, or I think he's number 3 or tied for second. I think number 3 in 20-plus yard runs. And you're complaining about him not being a starter. He has, I believe 9 touchdowns on the year, 9 or 10 touchdowns. He has literally 2, 3, 4, something like 7 or something in 3 games. I'll have to look at it. Achane is the number 2 RB on the week. Derrick Henry came in with a nice 2-touchdown, 102-yard game, but then got injured with a head injury. I'll update you tomorrow on that. We'll probably do a breaking news show. James Conner, a lot of you had James Conner questions, and we kind of said on the live stream, he kind of feels like the guy that could have 2 tutties and 100 yards off of a disappointing game, and nobody puts him in the lineup. That worked out fantastic. Chuba Hubbard, kind of hard to see that one coming as a top 5 running back this week. 104 on the ground. We'll get to all this stuff in a minute. Hang tight. It's getting hot here. I'm getting all hot and bothered already. This is an Achane live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Because we're going to celebrate the man known as Devon Achane. Bring it back, boys. Bring it back, boys. Set him down. Right there. Perfect. Looks good. Oh, and maybe you noticed the apparel I have on. I have on my vintage Deebo Samuel boombox shirt straight from the Fantasy Football Show store, which I have they're discontinued now. I made them a year and a half ago. I'll put them back up. But Deebo Samuel, Moon Man extraordinaire, was an absolute monster today. So Achane, let's give Achane one more round of applause for being such an amazing, absolute machine today. Devon Achane, running back 2, all of the worried Williams, all the people that said, Smitty, I'm going to sit him for a week, let him get his feet wet. How does that feel? I really do want to know. I hope somebody that sat him calls in. I want to know how it feels to have sat Achane after all he's proven. Every time he's on the field, he's a monster. 4 straight games. You can't include the injury games. 4 games. Anytime he's played. 4 games. 4 monster performances. 4 top 4 running back performances out of Devon Achane. Devon Achane to the moon. And then there was Deebo Samuel. Look at the vote so far, everybody. Hit that like button on your way in the door. 351 of you in here only. How many thumbs up we got? 45. Those are rookie numbers. Pump those up. Wipe your feet at the front door. Tank Dell injury. Let's talk about Tank Dell real quick. Some of you were in here when we broke this. I did a standalone video on it. But Tank Dell, Devon Achane, appreciate your services, bro. Get back to Saturn, pal. Get back to Saturn.
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
So thank you for that. Okay, and then who's this? I sat Achane, still won. Well, congrats. Don't hate Achane, just had 5 starting running backs. Well, you have a top 5 running back in Achane. You keep sitting, just so you know. I just want to let you know. Tank Dell, top 10 wide receiver easily. Goes down today. Broken fibula, fractured fibula, out for the season. This hit us hard. We did a live stream on it. It's a compartmentalized video. You can go watch the reaction. This hit hard. And the vote, if you guys want to vote, there's a link in the description of the video. We'll do some more voting later. This hit us hard. And I wish there weren't so many injuries. On top of that, Christian Watson's injury tonight at the end of the game. Looks like he re-injured his hamstring after looking like a top 12 wide receiver going forward. Look at this stat line by Christian Watson. If you weren't watching the game and you were scraping off the meatloaf off the plate and doing the dishes with the apron on that says dad, and you weren't watching right now, this man right here, 71 yards, 2 TDs. He ran the ball 2 times for 15 yards. This guy was back. He was back. He was a top 12 to 15 wide receiver. I could feel it. I knew this is how he was going to play once he got in his groove. I don't know why it took him so long. Him and Jordan Love. It really comes down to Jordan Love, because when you watch, you're not a box score, Bobby. You're watching every game. You know that they're almost connecting on touchdowns every single week, and it's been from week 1 to now since he's been in the game. And now all of a sudden he gets injured again. 7 catches, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran the ball fantastic as well. 2 for 15. He's a Deebo Samuel type player. But oh God, what a blow! And while we're on it, Jordan Love, 267, 3 TDs. Jordan Love, everybody that ripped on him after he went through his little up and down, drought. Now they're going to come circling back around. He's developing very nicely. Jordan Love's becoming the same kind of quarterback we saw in the first 2 weeks of the season, where he's a top 6 fantasy quarterback. I'm not saying he finishes 4 or 5 or 6 or always lingers in there, but he clearly has the ability to score top 10 quarterback numbers in fantasy football and dance with the big boys on occasion. Absolutely love what I saw out of Jordan Love tonight and the Green Bay Packers, who knocked off the Kansas City Chiefs, even though that was a very controversial ending. I think that will be talked about a lot tomorrow, because the Chiefs got no penalties on 2 plays. You could argue the last one, everybody's scrounging around for a Hail Mary. But that play prior, there was total PI on that. So that was crazy. I think they knew we needed to go live. And while we're on it, let's just get it out of the way. Then we're going to go straight to Deebo Samuel. I'm wearing the shirt. Let's go straight to Deebo. Pacheco, 18 for 110 and a touch. Looked like he got injured severely. Could have torn his ACL if he didn't slip his leg out from a really awkward tackle where someone landed on him, bent him back, and then he just had the mental capacity to pull his leg out as hard as he could before it snapped, and he went out and then he came right back in. So I don't think we're gonna, but then he at the end of the game threw a hook during that fumble by, what was it, Rashee Rice, right? Rashee Rice got tackled, almost, they thought fumbled the football. They reviewed it, and then during a little like scuffle after that play ended, Pacheco trying to tackle someone, whatever, ran into a defender, started a scuffle, and all of a sudden he threw a right hook. And I don't know what's going to happen to him next week. We'll have to play that by ear. But Isaiah Pacheco, 18 totes for 110 and a touchdown. Pacheco pulled in 3 receptions for 13 yards. He was fantastic. Rashee Rice, really good, 8 for 64. Kelsey, 4 for 81. Mahomes was very pedestrian yet again. 210, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. Mahomes, 4 for 26 on the ground. Something's wrong. I don't know if it was Taylor Swift, but something's wrong, and it doesn't look like it's getting fixed. And I think I'd still take a gamble on him, but I'm starting to be less and less willing to do that if I'm in some sort of late trade type of situation, if your league even does that. Some leagues trade up until the fantasy football playoffs begin, so up until the end of week 14. And if you can do that, I don't know that he's a top 3 player right now at his position. You just can't. I mean, I take the gamble in certain spots, but there are a handful of quarterbacks just playing better football right now, and it's a continuity problem. There's a lot going on in KC, and this does not seem to be their year. And I don't know what's going on, and Kelsey's probably in his last elite season. I don't know that Kelsey's going to be this same guy we've been seeing for a decade. I don't think he's going to be producing that kind of line in 2024. So we got to be really careful about where we take Kelsey next year. We got to be really, really careful. There's some other guys we're going to talk about, like Ekeler as well, that might have, that switch might have been flipped to where the production just might not be there anymore. Sometimes, players drop off at certain age points, certain landmarks of age. and we knew that this was the case with Ekeler. I, granted, I'm admitting this, have been a pretty big proponent of buying low on Ekeler on the chance he does to, rebound to elite status, but he was one of my biggest draft day avoids. And this was what I feared because he was 28 years old. 28 years old is the kiss of death to running backs. It used to be 30, 31. Now it's 28. You turn 28 before your season begins, it's a kiss of death at some point during the season. Now, Derrick Henry is the only one in recent memory that's bucked that trend, and he's kind of bucking it again right now, but then he suffers the head injury. We'll see how that is tomorrow. Let's get back to Deebo, because we're going to talk about Deebo. Prayers up to Tank Dell. He's out for the season. Horrible blow. We love this man, and it's just such a devastating situation, man. Such a devastating situation. It makes me sick. It makes everyone in here sick. Deebo Samuel, 4 of 4 targets pulled in, 116 and 2 tutties. Deebo Samuel was not done. Deebo Samuel added 3 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown, totaling not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel was absolutely Moon Man material tonight. He did it, and he did it live, and he did it well. So Deebo Samuel proving to be a proud Moon Man, and so glad to have him this year. Such an amazing player. And we talked about this, I think it was Chris Collinsworth that said it first, that can you remember, how many times can you remember Deebo Samuel being tackled? Like, think about it. How often does Deebo Samuel get tackled? He doesn't really get tackled. He's near impossible to bring down. You're just trying your best to drive him out of bounds. He catches the ball. He's such an awkwardly amazing athlete. How big he is and strong. He's got a lot of weight. He's like a freight train. He's almost like an RB. He is an RB. That's why they've coined wideback after him. But Deebo Samuel, think about it. How often does Deebo Samuel get tackled? He doesn't. Like every time he catches the ball, it feels like he's going to take it 14, 15, 16. He's slippery. You can't bring him down. You can't hit him upstairs. He doesn't go down. I'm surprised more defenders don't try and trip him up versus trying to tackle him or pull him down or corral him. He gets shoved out of bounds or he gets to the end zone. It's unbelievable. That's why he caught 4 balls for 2 touchdowns and 116 yards. And he continues to do it over and over. And I love this man. It's why he was a Moon Man. It's why we continued to believe in him. It's why his name came up in trade idea after trade idea when we said, who could you buy low? Who could you sell your big name wide receiver for? Go get a lower downgrade wide receiver and get yourself a running back or running back upgrade. This man has been one of our favorite go-get players. And I admit my wrongs. I was a big proponent on doing the same thing, trying to go get Ekeler. That hasn't worked out very well. But, you're not going to land them all. But certainly this has been a good one. Ekeler, where's Ekeler when you want to talk about Ekeler? Let's just bring him up because, it's time to mention him since we're on this topic. Ekeler definitely was, look at the vote here. Guys, we don't have a lot of votes on here. The link is in the live chat. 11 votes for Tank Dell being the most disappointing thing in Week 13. Ekeler being the second most, and then a bunch of people voted other. God, what a big disappointment. Bijan Robinson is on this list, but he didn't crack the vote yet. He's got 1 vote. Bijan Robinson usage has been just disastrous. But Austin Ekeler, while we're on the topic of Ekeler, because we're talking about Deebo, 14 carries for 18 yards. And some of me thinks this isn't Ekeler, though, as much as it is the Chargers, as it is Herbert and the coaching staff and the team and the vibe and just the momentum and just the bad momentum, because there's momentum and then there's bad momentum. You're just continuing to go down the wrong path. Someone says, I don't see no vote. You don't see this vote right here? Is that not showing up on my screen? What do I have showing up on my screen? Let me pull this up real quick. I thought this was, look, you could see this. Hold on. Is my internet going down too? I'm on a different internet, but my other internet, my TV internet, my iPad internet. I've got two different internet connections here. I think the internet's down. So anyway, can you guys not see this vote right here? Is it just an empty box? I'm going to pull up the live stream right here and see if I can see it. How do you vote? The link is in the live chat. Oh, it's there. You're saying something else. Hit the link. So far, we've got 17 votes for Tank Dell. Anybody that drops a $20 super chat, I'll put your question in the vote. So anybody drops a $20 super chat going forward, I'll put your question in the vote, and we can get a groupthink, a massive amount of people to vote on your question. Anyway, Deebo Samuel was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And if we pull up the wide receiver rankings for the week, you'll see Deebo as wide receiver 2. He actually passed CeeDee Lamb, as did Nico Collins. And on the topic of Tank Dell getting hurt, Nico Collins' value skyrockets. Absolutely skyrockets now. Look what he did in this game. 191 yards, 9 receptions, and 1 touchdown. Why? Because a lot of that's Tank Dell's usage. Nico's going to go through the roof. He's a top 12 wide receiver play probably going forward, and that's maybe just being cautious with it. Look, he's number 3 the first week it happened. CeeDee Lamb, number 4. Tyreek Hill, number 5. Tyreek Hill had a day, 157 and 2 tutties, 5 receptions, and it didn't even crack the top 4 wide receivers. The wide receivers went nuts in week number 13. Wide receivers were absolutely off the charts. Quarterback play, Brock Purdy was QB1. Let's give him his flowers. Purdy did a phenomenal job. Now, granted, some of this is yak yards. I know some people are going to have a problem with Purdy throwing all these touchdowns when none of them are missiles. They're all scheme touchdowns. They're all yak yard touchdowns, but that doesn't really matter. Like, you can't separate player from situation. So I'm a big advocate of never even using that excuse when evaluating a player because he plays in this system. This is what he plays in. You know the rules. You know the situation. You know the confines of the drafting and the potential output of a Brock Purdy. And he's in an amazing situation. And the Niners offense is humming. The Niners defense is humming. The Niners and the Eagles are, in my opinion, I don't care what the Eagles look like tonight. The Niners and the Eagles in the same conference, going to be in the title game together. These are the best 2 teams in the National Football League, and they can't face each other in the NFL Super Bowl. These are the 2 best teams in the National Football League. I don't know who the other team's going to be on the AFC side. I have no clue. I truly believe if Buffalo could get a wild card spot, I know everyone's going to think this is crazy, but think about the AFC. I think the Buffalo Bills or the Miami Dolphins have a real strong shot at a Super Bowl berth against whoever wins this title game in the NFC when the Niners face off against the Eagles. But the Niners are humming, and Brock Purdy, 4 touchdowns in this system. He's going to continue to play very, very well. Geno was QB2. That was a surprising one. Dak, he's been playing ball all year long, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it stops in the regular season, at least. 299 and 3 tutties. Matthew Stafford, a very popular, start Stafford pick by us when we did the Q&A all week long. People were in a bind. Do I start Stafford? I got to buy. Yeah, Stafford was a great play. Why? What did I say all week long? Stafford scored 4 touchdowns last week without Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp doing a single thing. I think combined they had 50-something yards together. They did nothing. No touchdowns for Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp combined last week. 50-something yards combined. Really mediocre, piss-poor performances out of Cooper Kupp and Puka last week. And Stafford had 4 TDs. He was a really good play this week. He had 3 touchdowns, 279. Puka caught 1. Cooper Kupp caught the other. And on that note, let's bring up Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp's stat lines because we're talking about it right now. So we might as well hit all this in unison. But Deebo, absolutely phenomenal game for Deebo. League winner right now. League winner Austin Ekeler, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. We got Cooper Kupp, who didn't have the biggest day, but he did score a touchdown. He did pull in 6 receptions, and he did catch 39 yards. It was a very nice day. Wasn't amazing, wasn't as good as Puka Nakua's day, but it was a fantastic day nonetheless. And so, if you traded for him on the low, things look better. It's hard to know what he's going to fully do. Puka Nacua got injured in this game but did return, so we were a little bit worried that he was going to be done for a while because it looked pretty bad. But Puka Nacua caught 4 receptions for 105 and a touchdown in the win over the Browns, adding 2 carries for 34 yards. He was an absolute monster. Puka Nacua has top 12 wide receiver upside, potentially. I mean, why not? Why not? Vote is looking like Tank Dell's the overwhelming disappointment of the weekend. It sucks, man. It sucks. Puka Nacua, nice job, pal. Nice job. Let's flip on over. Let's do a couple more big dogs that popped off. Where's Derrick Henry? We talked about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was the injury situation. Derrick Henry went to the locker room with a head injury during the game. And what was his stat line? I have a Derrick Henry stat line somewhere. Where is it at? I might have to find it later in this big mess. This one here, Tajay Spears. We'll have to monitor Derrick Henry because if he can't play week number 14, guess who's going to be the hottest pickup or one of the hottest pickups of the week? The guy we've been touting all year long to tote is what I meant to say. Touting to tote more carries. So let's let Tajay Spears tote. 16 carries, 75 yards, looked really strong. He always looks good. This guy's got 1 ACL, by the way. One of his knees does not have an ACL. He just never had the surgery. Made his leg strong enough to kind of hold up, but in time it will get him. But right now, who cares? Doesn't matter. 2023 doesn't matter. 2024 and like dynasty value, I have some concerns not having an ACL. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of reasons why. That ACL, doesn't matter how strong your thigh is to keep that tight. Without the ACL, you have what's called micro movements in the knee that even when you're just bending or moving around, you have these tiny little micro movements because you don't have that joint tight. And so over time, his meniscus is grinding down little by little by little by little. So it's going to catch up with him eventually, but it doesn't matter. 2023 is all we're worried about. And if he starts games, he's an absolute potential league winner. He'll be like the last big name waiver wire guy that you could potentially grab. This guy, Stevenson, x-rays were negative. They'll do more testing. I can't imagine he plays anytime soon, but you never know. Ramondre Stevenson, ankle x-rays were negative. That's good news, but he still could be out a while. So that's horrible news for Stevenson owners. Amari Cooper, concussion. That means he's probably going to miss a game, but we saw Olave come back and played in a game the very next week. Very rare, but it's starting to become a little bit more normal. I don't know what it is. I don't know why we're seeing late in the season, ironically, teams getting their players passing through the protocol, but it's not happening. It didn't happen during the beginning of the year. Amari Cooper, concussion. We'll let you know more tomorrow. Jalen Hurts went to the locker room with a head-related issue, and we thought he was concussed. He was being evaluated for concussion, and he came back out onto the field and played. So there's no concern about next week. But 26 of 45 passing against the Niners in the loss, a very tough loss. 298 through the air, 1 touchdown. Also ran the ball for an additional 20 yards and a tutty. Very solid day for Jalen Hurts. Could have been better. I wish he scored another touchdown, but he didn't. It is what it is. Chris Olave, 5 of 8, 119 yards. Derek Carr got hurt bad. We'll let you know more about Derek Carr, but I would plan Derek Carr to be out a little bit, and that means Winston, air yard master, is going to start feeding Olave some air yards. He didn't look good when he came in, but that's okay. They'll practice with him, get him ready. Could be good news. Could affect Taysom Hill. It always kind of does when they switch court, like he kind of fades for a week, but Taysom Hill's been amazing, so I don't know that you can bench him. He played great today. I got Taysom Hill somewhere on here, I think. Rashad White, 20 rushes for 84 yards and a touchdown. 3 receptions for 22 yards, continuing to look good every time he touches the football. Nico Collins, here's Nico, his stat line. 9 receptions, 191 and a touchdown. I hate to celebrate him, but I can separate myself between these situations and just as an analyst, as your analysts tell you, that doesn't matter why. He's going to the moon now, and there's no stopping him because Stroud's going to continue to feed him. And he's a top 12 wide receiver easy. I hate even standing for that one right now. It makes me sick. Makes me absolutely sick. But good for Collins. He's a great receiver. Devonta Smith, 9 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. Continues to be the guy we talked about all season long when he was going through a slump. He's a number 1 wide receiver. It doesn't matter if AJ Brown feels like the one. They're both ones. They rotate. It's kind of like Deebo and Ayuk. They rotate kind of like Collins and Dell. They rotate, but they're both wide receiver ones at the end of the day. And Devonta Smith with 96 yards and a touchdown proved it yet again. He continues to thrive. AJ Brown still thrived. 114 yards, no touchdowns, but 8 receptions. Both had amazing days. The Eagle boys had amazing days, even though they lost the game. Michael Pittman, this is probably my other take a lap moment, because I was asked about Michael Pittman several times. I'm not saying I started a scrub over him, but there were times where I think I didn't give him enough consideration in a very close matchup. And so I probably said other names that maybe outscored him. I don't remember all of them, but there were several Michael Pittman. Do I start Pittman or this guy? And I kept saying, I think Downs will have a better day than normal. But Pittman continues to deliver. 11 receptions is fantastic. 105 yards and a touchdown. I'm man enough to say when I think maybe I'm not giving someone enough credit, and I'm not giving Pittman enough credit. So Pittman, you get a standing ovation for continuing to prove it. I am worried about him, faltering, because he has kind of disappointed in the past. But hey, he continues to do it. At some point, I got to let go of that and move forward. And I'm just being honest with you. Michael Pittman deserves a standing O. Nice job, Michael. Nice job. Okay, this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Our darling. Our off-season darling. Hi, Alvin Kamara. We loved you all off-season. We don't care that you're on planet Uranus. And before anybody that's new sees this, you can be on planet Uranus for being a bad person and still be in our fantasy football hearts.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
This is where people go when they make bad comments, ridiculous comments, or if they're bad individuals in the NFL. Mixon's not a very good person, in my opinion. Dalvin Cook's not a very good person, in my opinion. Alvin Kamara. Look at David Wong here. Not saying David Wong's not a good. I like David Wong, but he continues to make very, very negative Achane comments over and over and over. Achane is like a tire with a hole in it. Gibbs is cooked. That was said by Oka for a long time ago. Let's see if any of these. Rushman, Achane, yeah, 10 out of 10 for warming the bench. Nice one, Rushman. Nice one. David Wong's on here twice. Achane not the same anymore. Terry R. Josh Allen equals Zach Wilson. Okay, you get my point. But Alvin Kamara, despite being a player that we know is not, doesn't, we wouldn't invite him over for Thanksgiving. You wouldn't ask him to babysit your kids. You wouldn't trust him with anything. But this man we knew was a glorious fantasy football pick that the fantasy worlds, especially on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, where Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. We knew that this man, this beautiful man on the field, horrible man off the field, in my opinion, was going to take us to the promised freaking land in fantasy football. Where did we get him? Well, on Underdog, 7, 8, 9 round range. On sleeper drafts and mock drafts, we were seeing him go at like round 5 or 6 because they didn't update their ADP until kickoff of week 1. So the ADPs were all jacked up, and so people would see Kamara being recommended to them in the 5th and 6th round. But they didn't want to take him. They're just like, well, I guess if they're recommending him, I'll take him in round 5 or 6. But he was a 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 round pick. All off season long. We cleaned up. If you own him, you're winning. Okay, Kamara, you did good. Oh, so anyway, he had 14 rushes for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the Saints' Week 13 loss to the Lions, adding 6... Oh, yeah, I forgot about the 6 catches for 58 yards. Measly 11.5 points. I forgot about his 11 points, which is what made him... Are these the RBs? Those aren't the RBs. Are these the RBs? Yes, they are. Which made him... Oh, would you looky here, reindeer. 28.9 points in this particular league. Running back 1. Oh, that's Russian Collusion, by the way. Russian Collusion owns him in the Marsman League. This is the Marsman League stats, just so you know. Achane's mine. You can see the Fantasy Football Show. Owns that man. But Alvin Kamara, running back 1 in week number 13. Achane, running back 2. James Conner, just phenomenal job, James. Phenomenal jobs, James. He did great. He did great, son. Let's see here. What do we got? Alvin Kamara to the moon. Alvin Kamara, get his flowers. Get his flowers. Go. Do it live.
To the moon.
To the moon, Alvin. And to Uranus. Okay. James Conner. Here it is. James Conner, 25 totes, 105, 2 touchdowns in the Cardinals' Week 13 win against the Steelers. Ron, I'm sorry about Pickett. Pickett got injured. I have Pickett's... where's Pickett? Pickett somewhere... Oh, here. Is this it? No, where's Pickett? I have Pickett somewhere in here. Pickett got injured in this game, and it was unfortunate, but he's going to be out a little bit. He's going to have surgery, and so the Steelers got beat by my Cardinals, but I didn't think they were going to necessarily, get stomped on by the Steelers, but I didn't expect them to look as good as they did. But they looked really good because injuries struck the Steelers, so to be fair. But Connor looked phenomenal, and I think if you've got him as your running back 2 or flex play, you're probably pretty happy right now. Nice surprise, to come back and do as well as he is. Back to the Niner game, McCaffrey, 17 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown in the Week 13 win over the Eagles. A fantastic outing, 3 catches for 40 yards, which was a nice surprise. 40-yard stat line on 3 catches is phenomenal. McCaffrey continues to play as the RB1, standalone. Nobody's there with him. Sam Laporta. Oh, where did this guy come from? Why is he popping off? Has Smitty talked about why maybe he's returned to form? Oh, it's because he broke through the rookie wall that Smitty always talks about. How the great ones always break through the rookie wall. That's week 1. This is week 17. And rookies usually go like this, and they're doing well. Then they hit a rookie wall somewhere around weeks 9 through 13. Sometimes that rookie wall is actually that entire length. It's very tough to get through, and they try to battle through it, and they get injured, and they get hurt. Sometimes they break through the rookie wall and explode. Now, Tank Dell didn't break through and get injured. He broke through and was skyrocketing. He had a freak injury happen while he was right here. That's why he went down. It wasn't because he got hurt through the rookie wall. But Laporta, trying to get through the rookie wall, was sitting there, and exploded. The good ones, the good rookies, explode through the rookie wall. This is what Jamar Chase did his rookie year. And Sam Laporta is on fire. 9 of 9. Pulled in all 9 of his targets. 140 yards and a touchdown. Tight end number, top 3 tight end right now. Top 3 to 4 tight end. Top 2 to 4 tight end. You can say it however you want, but he's the top 2 to 4 tight end. And if you own him, you're ecstatic right now. Absolutely ecstatic. And we waited too long to talk about this guy's performance. 5 of 7, 157, 2 touchdowns. Looked phenomenal as normal. Love Tyreek Hill. Hit that like button on your way in the door, everybody. Appreciate every single one of you. Tua Tagovailoa. I know a lot of you had questions about holding on to Tua, and you thought because of the game prior that you needed to make a move. Trade deadline's coming up. What do I do? Do I give up a really good wide receiver like Olave because he's banged up right now and get a quarterback? Or do I? And I said, pump the brakes. I mean, Tua's a fantastic quarterback. He has his most explosive weapon outside of Tyreek Hill not on the field. And who? Devon Achane. Devon Achane returns. The offense is dynamic. You can say it's the Commanders all you want, hating Harry and worried William and overreacting Oscar and doubting Donnie. You can say what you want about the matchup. You can continue to say what you want, but Tua and the Miami Dolphins look in tune. And a lot of it does have to do with Devon Achane. He's one of the best running backs in the National Football League. I don't make video after video after video over and over for no reason. It's not me just getting excited and having blinders on and just calling him a top 5 running back when he really isn't a top 5 running back. Devon Achane has been a center point of my entire show for a week straight, and all the weeks back, dating back to week 1, and in the offseason and preemptive waiver wire shows and all that, but specifically this coming week, because the haters have been coming out of the woodwork. The haters have been coming for blood, and the haters have been all over Devon Achane all week long, trying to drive his value down, trying to drive pessimism into the minds and hearts of Achane owners. Achane is a top 5 running back, and when injected back into the lineup, Tua returns to form. And so anybody that has Tua Tagovailoa as their quarterback, you were happy with his 280 and 2 touchdowns. Did you want 3 or 4? We all do. But he had a good day. Tyreek Hill, 157, 2 touchdowns. Both these guys to the freaking moon.
To the moon.
And expect it to continue, quite frankly. Let's put this over here. We're getting through the news. We got 11 super chats waiting in the queue. So if you super chatted, I'm coming for you. 31 votes right here. Any $20 haulers, I'll put your question. As long as it's not your entire lineup. It's like a player question. I'll put it in the vote tonight. Mike Evans, 7 receptions on 11 targets, 162 and a touchdown. Mike Evans has been playing phenomenal football all year long. He continues to get doubted. He's a top 10 wide receiver, and he probably will remain there all year long. Next year, it'll be tough to trust him because he's older, but I mean, this year, he's a baller. And we'll address next offseason. Kyren Williams comes back, runs the ball 21 times for 88 yards and a touchdown, catches the ball 3 times. No, I'm sorry. Adding 3 catches, on 5 targets for 24 yards. Could have been bigger, could have been a little bit better, but against a tough Cleveland Brown defense, this is actually a phenomenal job in a win where the offense was churning out production. Like I said, everybody was worried about this Cleveland Brown matchup. I wasn't, because the Rams are hard to match up against. The Rams can go up against any defense like they did with the Niners, even though the Niners defense was a little bit different back when they routed them, when the Rams routed the Niner D. The Rams are still very hard to defend with Kyren. It's maybe different like years ago, but this year with Kyren, Kupp, and Puka, and Stafford, the combination is hard to defend. And so while we want more next week, we're going to expect 110 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Dial it in right now. Receipt this. 110 and 2 scores for Kyren next week. While we wanted that, 88 and 2 touchdowns is fantastic. I'm sorry, 1 touchdown. 88 and 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Next week is 2. Nice job, Kyren. Kyren for president. Taysom, here's the Taysom. Taysom's been so good. He's another secret weapon of ours. This is what, the 3rd year in a row I've had a big campaign in the offseason, especially in best ball. QB, tight end, wide receiver, running back. He's got eligibility as a tight end and a quarterback in best ball on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty, where you can get your first deposit doubled. And we draft for week 14 very, very soon. So hit that link, get signed up. I dropped the link in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video, as is the vote for this right here. If you want to vote right now, the link's in the description. Taysom Hill's been a secret weapon of ours for 3 years now. And nobody sees it coming. They just, it's probably not going to happen again this year. Yeah, it will. Not going to happen this year. Yeah, it will. And this year, yeah, it's going to happen again. Taysom Hill is a secret weapon, catching both of his targets, 15 yards, 13 rushing attempts for 59 yards and a touchdown. And it was like it could have been better, too. With Carr hurt, who knows where they're going to use him and how they're going to use him. I have a little bit of concern that with Winston, He's not as vital, and they don't necessarily fit him in as much. But like, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that thought to the wind, and just say let's trust in Taysom, because this is the longest he's done it. So this feels like a little bit different of a season for him. McBride, unbelievable. 8 of 9 for 89 yards and a touchdown. Arguably one of the hottest tight ends in the industry right now. Like this guy's dropping it. He's dropping it. Pause. He's dropping it. I don't even care. He's dropping it. 89 yards and a touchdown. What more do you want? What more do you want? The guy continues to thrive, and he does it with multiple quarterbacks. Doesn't matter who's under center. Brandon Ayuk, going back to the Niner game, 46 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic. We got so much news to cover. We're almost done, though. We're almost done. Super Chat's coming in. Here we go. Keenan Allen, 5 of 9, 58 yards in the Chargers' Week 13 win over the Patriots. I mean, he's a victim. He's a victim of what the Chargers are turning Herbert into. Herbert can thrive from time to time, but this is not the offense that especially the way Ekeler's playing. I blame it all on the coaching staff, the system, the team, the ownership. And Keenan Allen is not a spring chicken. This is like his last locked and loaded for sure elite season. He might produce one more. He might produce elite numbers for another month or two into the next season. He could be a candidate for us to draft high and then trade high. But this sucks for him. Maybe missed the playoff. What are the odds? Ziggy, what are the odds of the Chargers making the 20?
What are the odds from Netflix?
No, Ziggy, what are the odds the Chargers make the playoffs?
The Chargers were favored by 2 points, but lost by 1 to the Jaguars.
Ziggy, off. Ziggy's worthless. Ziggy's worthless. Somebody look it up right now. I'll go to the chat for the percentage. But the odds the Chargers make the playoffs. Somebody look it up. It just sucks that he's getting wasted away with this horrible staff. Thank you, Keenan Allen, for your service, even though you didn't get to do anything really for us this week. Jahmyr Gibbs was also very underutilized. I mean, I say that, but he's still very productive. He got 8 totes for 60 yards. He's ripping them off. Adding 1 catch for -6 yards. Really disappointing game. We wanted more for Gibbs. Everybody has a bad game. Don't overreact. Don't bench him next week when you normally wouldn't. So everybody just calm down. Someone said under 10% chance. The win probably helped. I think there were... it was 36% a month ago. Well, that doesn't help, Sam, but thank you. Appreciate that. Sebastian says 6% chance. Under 10%, I'd guess. Okay, well, guesses don't help, Jaime, but I do like that you're chiming in on it. I got a bunch of different numbers coming in left and right. 6%. I probably believe that number is pretty close. Jahmyr Gibbs did not, and that was for the Chargers to make the playoffs. Jahmyr Gibbs... Let's hope he gets used properly next week, but we're not sitting him for guys we would normally not play. You know what I mean? Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This one is Zach Moss. This is a disappointing game considering, and I kind of said this walking into the week, especially when people had like really good RBs and they're like, but Zach Moss is a starter again. And I think you can't expect high-end running back 1 numbers. I think that you're going to be disappointed. Can he play that well? He can. But is he going to play that well all the time? No. So at the end of the day, his average stat line is going to put him in the running back 2 category. And the question isn't how many times is he a running back 1. I think my question would be how many times is he a high-end running back 2. And I don't know that he's a high-end running back 2 all the time. I think he could be. But to expect running back 1 numbers, Zach Moss rushed 19 times for 51 yards. And the Colts win over the Titans. So let's see what happens. JT, if you guys missed my other live stream, JT is out for 3 to 5 weeks now. That's been updated as of today. As of this morning, I did a separate video on the Tank Dell injury and on the JT news. If you didn't watch that video, go watch it. We talk about it in length, but JT is out 3 to 5 weeks. They've updated their time frame. He's out 3 to 5 weeks. That means this man's value went up big time because we talk about week 14, week 15, 16, 17, 18. JT's done. He's done for the year. In a miracle setting, he comes back for week 17. In a miracle type setting, JT is done. Done. This year. So Zach Moss's value goes up. It does. It truly does. But this can happen. So curb your expectations and expect him to be like, a running back 2, not a running back 1. That's all I'm saying. Breece Hall, this is another guy we can't expect to be a running back 1. I hate to say it. It breaks my heart. But we're realism folks over here on the Fantasy Football Show. We're realistic people. And, we bleed like normal people. We have bias like normal people, but we do a better job of recognizing when to adjust and adapt. That's what I take pride on at this channel. And sometimes it coins me as a flip-flopper from people that don't know me, that maybe a passerby, or somebody that hears something about me, or they think they know me from Instagram, but they don't watch my YouTube channel. They just watch my Instagram because they're lazy and they don't come over here and watch the show. They don't like watching long-form content. They don't understand that when I adjust and adapt, it's because we got new information. We've got a revolving door of fantasy football. And as much as I love him for the future, as much as I love him if Aaron Rodgers comes back this year, we'll see how that goes. I don't think, given that they lost the game, I don't think there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers probably comes back. I hope that he still tries it for like one game just to see, as long as he's good to go. But, you got to bench him. No one's dropping him. Dextro. No one's dropping him, bro. But if you got to bench him, you got to bench him. You got a Rachaad White. He starts over Breece Hall. You got a Zach Moss. He starts over Breece Hall. You got a... there's a ton of names I would start over Breece Hall right now. It sucks, but it is what it is. We adjust and adapt. No one saw the Aaron Rodgers Achilles injury happening. I don't regret even feeling the way I felt about Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson walking into the season. We can't control certain things, and I don't take back the boldness of Garrett Wilson. I don't take back the boldness of Breece Hall. This is all part of the journey. These all lead us to our next player. Maybe I wouldn't have liked Achane as much if this worked out because I wouldn't have been paying attention. I look at things like that. When you get a speeding ticket, you should look at that speeding ticket as a reason you maybe didn't drive down the road another mile longer and a red light runner run right into you and end your life. That speeding ticket that looks like it's a problem led you down a different path. I look at that with everything in life. And this will make us adjust and adapt differently. Maybe next year we get him an amazing value because everyone's going to run away and we know he will survive. He will thrive. I love Breece Hall. He is 8 feet tall. And he will answer the call when he has a quarterback. It is what it is. 13 toes for 16 yards just isn't going to cut it right now. Now, some of you are still going to start him. It depends on your options. I'm not saying everybody bench him, but if you got great options, you play in a grandma league, you might need to sit him down. 2 catches was not great, but 49 and a touchdown, very efficient. Salvage his day, pretty good day considering he only caught the ball twice. But hopefully he gets more next week. I love St. Brown. Not worried at all if anybody's going to give me some kind of worried comment. Now, this pisses me off a little bit, but at the same time, he's still got 18 carries. Now, I wish his 53 yards was like 70, and that way you combined the 70 yards and the 26 yards, and you're like close to 100, and it just felt like a better day overall. Or he caught 6 receptions for 70 yards and, had the 50. Like, we wanted more, no doubt. And I am a little bit worried. And they won, which enables the same behavior that's getting them the win, which means they don't overfeed Bijan, which means upstairs isn't going to pick up the phone and call Arthur, and Arthur go, yeah, this is upstairs. This is blank. This is Smith. Okay. You won. Good job. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, I'll keep not feeding Bijan enough. Thank you. Good job. See you next week when you win again. It's like, good God. But I still very much believe running back 1, like lambasting people type numbers are still in the cards. I still believe in Bijan. Maybe if you can still trade for whatever reason, he's a solid buy low. A lot of you can't trade anymore. Just make sure, you hit me with your options before you do something stupid like bench him. He's certainly not a panic material person because he had 18 totes. Bad games happen. Low yards per carry happen. 18 carries was good. CJ Stroud, 16 of 27, 274, 1 touchdown. Could have been a better day. I think losing Tank Dell hurt him a little bit. Collins definitely scooped up a lot. You'd almost think, okay, Collins did so good, then man, Stroud had to do amazing, but it was all going to Collins. DeAndre Swift, 6 rushing attempts, 13 yards, adding 2 receptions for 7. And then he got hurt at the end. We'll have to find out if he's okay. It looked like it could have been maybe a shoulder or rib and shoulder or a combination of different things. They were kind of quiet about it. He went off the field. He looked really banged up, and I don't know if anybody knows if he returned to the field. It's kind of near the end of the game. But he got rocked, and he looked like he didn't. It wasn't head, although that could have been it too. But I don't think it was. But it looked like he didn't know where he was. He got hit so hard in the chest that he was just like walking like he was never going to hit the field again. Like he was just done with it, done with football. His expression was, "I'm not doing this anymore." It was bad. So I don't know what to think about Swift next week. We'll talk about that as it comes. This one here is David Montgomery, 17 rushing attempts for 57 yards and a touchdown. 1 catch. Gibbs is still the receiving back. That's good. That's the good news and the takeaway from the Gibbs not being used as much as we want situation. Here's that Herbert stat line. Herbert again was a big disappointment. 22 of 37 for 212 yards. That was it. 212 yards. That's what he got you. And I don't, like I said, I don't blame everything on him, but it is what it is. That is his situation he lives in right now. Again, the wide receiver. Top wide receivers for the week are right here. We went over that earlier. Appreciate you guys hanging through this news show. And let's see here. We did this stat line here. Jordan Love, 267 and 3 tutties. Looked fantastic. Christian Watson got injured, but he had 7 for 71 and 2 touchdowns and ran the ball, what was it, 2 times for 15 yards. Just looks like Deebo, like a version of Deebo Samuel. Got injured again, hurt his hamstring. He looked very pissed off. I think he re-injured it pretty badly, but he didn't go to the locker room. They didn't cart him off. He was just on the sideline, but he did re-injure it. He's out at least a week or 2, if not more, if I had to guess. Mahomes, again, was very pedestrian. Pacheco was fantastic. Got hurt, but went back in the game, so he looks okay. 110 and a touchdown. Kelsey, 4 for 81. Rice, 8 for 64. Mediocre performances, really, when you think about what you needed and what you expected. This right here, the last 2 pieces here, Laporta, McBride, Ferguson, Harrison Bryant, and Taysom Hill were the top 5 quarterbacks on Sunday. Again, none of this information includes the this is the quarterbacks. That includes the Thursday night guys. Actually, this stuff does. Brock Purdy, Geno was a Thursday guy, so there you go. There's that. Geno, QB2, unbelievable. To be honest with you, I mean, hard to even fathom Geno is the QB2. Alvin Kamara, Devon Achane, number 2. Devon Achane
To the moon.
number 2. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate all you. And now we get to the super chats. Appreciate everybody hanging tough, especially the super chatters that drop super chats. Thank you all for doing that. Young dropping the first super chat of the evening. You get a standing O, my friend. Achane haters nowhere to be found all of the sudden. Do we have a lot of them in the chat? I haven't had a chance to read the chat very thoroughly, so I would love to know if anybody's found any in the chat. Like, are they just lingering? They're welcome here. I don't want anybody to cause a scene with them, but I just wonder if they've vanished and crawled back into their hole. I've been screaming McBride. They won't listen, Smitty. Who's they? Who cares? You're playing against them. Why do you want them to know? So keep riding, Hayden. Keep doing it live. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Smitty, can we get a Purdy song? He is him, says Matt, with the 49er logo. Look, I like him. I talked him up a lot. I'm wearing a Deebo shirt, for goodness sake. But I don't know that he's a Hall of Famer yet. I don't think he's a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the National Football League. I don't think he's a top 4 or 5 fantasy quarterback for the future. But he's certainly having a stellar year. And we'll see what happens if the team can be kept together. And I know the window for the Niners is like this year and maybe next year. And then we'll see. Like it takes a long time before you gain that kind of respect and royalty. in the NFL world and the fantasy football world. So I think people are getting a little carried away that are Niner fans thinking he's a top 5, but he could be in the MVP conversation because it's not about fantasy, it's about leading your team, and so he's certainly going to be in that top conversation, especially if he has a couple more big games like this. Where is David Wong and IER, the Achane haters? I don't know. Are they in the chat at all? Does anybody know if they're in here? I knew they'd vanish on me. Smitty, get me right next year, says Draven. Draven, we'll open the phone lines in a little bit, Draven, and you can call in, and I can talk you down from leaving fantasy football altogether. This is from Lewis as UH alum and owner of Tank. I'm super sad today for a possible rookie of the year. I know, bro. He really would have maybe been the rookie of the year had he played the whole season, bro. It's such a devastating injury. Hoosiers, $5 holler. What up, Smitty? I went with Singletary and D-Hop today. Connor on the bench. At least D-Hop worked out. I'm sorry to hear that, Hoosier. Congrats on the win, hopefully. Did you get a win? Anthony, appreciate you with the $5 holler. Thanks, Smitty. Started Love, and McBride came back down 50 and took the W. Deebo went off, but Stevenson injury hurt. Glad Love worked out for you. Thanks for trusting in me and trusting in him. Achane to the moon. Got him in 4 teams plus $500 won. A lot of celebratory messages. This is the Achane celebration show, by the way. Dark Knight. What's up, GOAT? Appreciate you, Dark Knight. Dark Knight's the man, the myth, the legend. Lego Batman really did his job today, by the way, guys. Let's all give it up for Lego Batman. We gave him one job. We got to give him a new player each week, so we got to think of who we want him to find this week. But Lego Batman. I mean, we told him to find Achane. He did it. Whatever we tell him, he does it. He finds him. I think we need to get him to find Bijan again. I don't know if we've ever had him find somebody twice. But we might need that because I really want Bijan to rip it up. Achane equals never a doubter. Smitty strikes again. Appreciate you. Call your boy loud. All these Achane haters, bro. They're nowhere to be found right now. Does your site have contest? Have contest? Is that in the works? Does my site have contest? You mean my site of content? You mean content? Yeah. The Fantasy Football Show has articles, year-round rankings, bold predictions, the trade calculators, which I can't guarantee that someone wasn't working on one, on some unknown site or something, but I pretty much invented one of, if not the very first trade calculator in 2004 or 5 in the fantasy industry. I've been working on tools and content and evolved my site over 2 decades. So there's content on there if that's what you mean. Contest? I don't know what you mean contest. Jack, appreciate you with the super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Jack. Happy. What happened to Achane? Yeah, there's so many people in the comments of the video, and a lot of them deleted their comments. They were in the Achane videos, and they're like, what happened, Smitty? Where's your boy Achane? It was the first quarter. He had done very little. Where's Achane? And then their comments vanished and disappeared. They deleted them. Anyone talking about Achane means they don't have him. Exactly. Appreciate you, bro. Traded Javonte and Goddard for Puka in Dynasty. I love that. Puka looks good, bro. Elvis in the building with a $10 hauler. Elvis, appreciate you, my boy. Elvis is the man, the myth, the legend. Achane to Jupiter. Dilemma moving forward. Who should I start for the playoffs? 10-team PPR, 12-1. Hurts, Purdy. You go Hurts. Achane, Kyron, Gibbs. I start all 3 of them if I can. And then Diggs, Adams, Devonta Smith, Olave. If you can only start 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs in a flex, then you have a huge problem and you got to play matchups, Elvis. I can't tell you who to start like on the regular. But if you can start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex, then you're in luck because you start all 3 of your RBs and you start Diggs, Adams, and Smith. And I mean, you just rotate like Olave with Smith, Olave with Adams. Probably keep Diggs in there personally as your rotational receiving, duo or trio. But if you only start 2-2-1, you're in trouble, and you have to totally play matchups. And there's no way to really. We have to look at schedules, and I'm not even like playoff minded right now. You know what I mean? I'm still worried about week 14, 15, 16. Is Purdy a start over Lamar rest of season? You're not crazy to. Lamar's very inconsistent. He's very capable of being better than Purdy, but I don't blame you for starting Purdy. That offense is humming, bro. The Niner offense. Sat DK on Thursday. Oh, so dumb, but I have CMC, Deebo, Laporta, Connor, Pacheco, Hurts carry me to the win. That's good then, J-Fam. You did fine. But wow, that's brutal. But man, I bet you were really kicking yourself, but you didn't need to. Got Hurts and Love and Superflex. Okay to drop Levis. I don't know if I'd drop a quarterback if that's your third option, just so you have 3. But in a vacuum, I'd say I don't think Levis does well when he plays for you. My JT for Achane trade looking pretty now. I also have Bijan. Didn't get a chance to watch the Falcons game, but did he not get 20 plus touches? He got 18 carries. It was an okay workload. They were just tough carries. It's not his fault. There was just congestion when he got it. They were kind of like bad play calls for the moment. That's it. I mean, 18 carries is good. He still did some tough running, and I think he'll be back next week. So appreciate you, Achane. Nice job on your trade.
Got him.
Okay, super chats are caught up. Anybody drops a $20 hauler, I'll put your question. I'm not putting your whole lineup in here, but like a player question or a dilemma or something, I'll put it in the vote, and we'll have the group chat vote on it. Phone calls are open. We'll do some phone line dialing in, and then we might end the show in like 20 minutes, or I don't know how long we'll go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. Doing it live. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Alec, for that super chat. What a day. I mean, we had some injuries and Dell and Watson that really kicked me right in the gonads. But at the same time, like, you got to adjust and adapt. You can't let one thing get you down. As much as Dell's getting me down, Achane and even Watson's game, like, even though he got hurt, just watching him come back, and it sucks, but watching him come back was amazing. Watching Watson become a receiver that catches 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games when everybody's hating on him was just, that part, it made me feel good. Watching Love do what Love's been criticized to not be able to do. There's so many things that Kamara continuing to thrive. We have a lot of wins. We have a lot of things going on in general for this channel and for all of you. And we got to take the losses as they come and adjust and adapt. We got to go get Tajay Spears to account for this. We got to go get this player to account for that. And we're going to continue to churn out the good decisions and the adjusting and adapting. Negative Ethan, you're live.
Smitty, I need one measly point from McPherson and a must win. And I was looking at this Dell injury on Twitter. I'm trying to find the play, and I see him blocking in the middle like a fullback. And at first, I'm getting like flashbacks of Trey Lance.
Yeah.
But then I looked at the play, and he's working hard. He's getting upfield to the safety, and he even gets in front of Nico. And I just wish he was Deontay Johnson for one play. And he just said, "Oh, I'm gonna have it," and not.
Yeah, it sucks. It does suck, and I don't know if he'll need the tightrope surgery. The tightrope surgery is where you basically they did this with Cooper Kupp. They did it with Pollard. They did it with Tua Tagovailoa. They drill a hole through both bones. They put like a pin through, and the pin like flips a flap up, or a piece of the pin flips up, and then they make this bone like hold it here with this pin that's in here. It looks really bad. You're like, oh my God, how is that? How does somebody come back from that? But very successful recoveries. Everybody pretty much comes back from it. Look at Tony Pollard. He's not having any problems. Cooper Kupp, no problems. So I think he'll be fine, but it sucks, bro. Tank Dell was on such a mission. It really sucks.
Well, do you think I could get a Taysom Hill start next week at QB?
No. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, as long as
Yahoo
Winston
will probably be dumb about it anyway.
Yeah, as
even
long
if
as
they
Winston
did.
can play. But yeah, I could see if he started at quarterback, they'd rip away his tight end eligibility because all the whiners and complainers. Yeah, but Winston. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I wasn't prepared for this. I can't stand the complainers, bro, about that.
Yeah.
Think ahead. Think ahead. All right, Ethan.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Schmitty.
Later, bro.
All right, bye.
This $5 hauler from Hoosiers winning 104.6 to 103.46. Sounds like radio stations. I have ETN tomorrow. He's got Mixon. Let's go. I like your odds. I'm not saying you can't lose this, but I would 1,000% rather be you. Anything can happen, but I'd 1,000% rather be you. Yeah. Crazy week, man. Crazy week. Yeah, Winston's probably, unless he got injured or something, and I haven't realized that he's probably going to start. They're not going to start Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's like in his role. He's in his groove. He's doing really well, too. He really is. He's doing fantastic. Jaden Reed, 16 yards. I didn't report on that. Dobbs at 72 yards. I don't know if I talked about that. AJ Dillon, 73 yards, adding 14 yards on his lone reception. Jordan Love was fantastic. Rashee Rice could have done a lot better. Man, it's just kind of a weird game. Patrick Mahomes has just been a disappointment this year. It's been crazy. I think next year is going to be interesting where they rank him. Everybody ranks him, but where anybody ranks him, it's going to be crazy because I think he'll be a steal. If he doesn't like rebound in the playoffs, if he rebounds in the playoffs, everyone will forget. They'll have amnesia and he'll get drafted in the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks. But if he let's say like he doesn't rebound in the playoffs and he just, like craps the bed and whatever, then I don't know what the reaction is going to be. And then Christian Watson, as far as the injury is concerned, worrisome considering he missed the first 3 games of the season with the hamstring injury. Fantasy managers want to keep an eye on his practice status this week. It looks like NBC Sports doesn't have any clue as to how hurt he is. I can't imagine him playing anytime soon, but maybe something, maybe cramped up. You never know, but I would expect him to have re-injured the hamstring back to square one. Unless it was a cramp or something weird, and they're like, oh my God, you didn't tear it. You said cramping, bro. Like, who the hell knows? But if you usually when you re-injure an injury, you almost always re-injure it back to where you were or worse, usually worse. But given so much time has gone by, I think probably he's just back to square one is my guess, which means he would miss 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's probably the expectation you should at least have right now, and hope that we're blown away by the result. Lateral Nicholas, what's going on, bro?
Hey, Smitty, what's going on?
What's up, pal?
So I was 12-0. I'm getting handed my first loss this year, but I'm the number 1 seed, so it doesn't really matter too much. I was just wondering what I should do with Adams. I have Amon-Ra and Mike Evans as my wide receivers, and Adams in the flex. I just got Kyron and Achane back, so sorry. So I'm pretty excited about that, but I don't really know what to do with Devontae Adams. Do I just hold him and wait?
Well, I mean, can you trade right now?
Yeah, we have 1 more week.
Who's your quarterback?
Lamar.
I mean, could you use him to maybe upgrade your QB situation? Can you get a Josh Allen? Can you get? I mean, I'd probably look at that, but if not, I mean, yeah, keep him as depth. Depth doesn't hurt you, but I mean, you certainly probably put him on the bench with that crew. Mike Evans can't be sat right now.
My other flex would be Singletary, but now he's splitting carries with Pierce again.
Then you got to, okay, so you have double flex. Yeah, then you just keep him. You're going to need him. I like Singletary, but you're going to need it, bro.
Right.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Nice team.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for the playoffs, hopefully.
All right, bro. Congrats, my man. Achane to the moon, pal. Achane to the moon. No, Achane to Saturn.
To Saturn.
To Saturn.
Saturn, right to Saturn.
All right, later, bro.
All right, see you, Smitty.
Well. Let me delete these real quick. What else we got going on in the chat? Appreciate the chat. We got 512 of you in here. We don't have any more callers. Nobody wants to call in right now. Nobody's got a question they want to ask me. I mean, this is the phone lines, the deadest it's ever been, with 510 people watching right now. 510 of you who have not all hit the thumb up button, I might add. I'm looking at the thumb up numbers right now, and we're looking at, what are we looking at? We're looking at 183 thumbs up. Not bad, but if we could get the 506 of you to punch the button, it'd be helpful. Jason from Cali. What's up, Jason?
Thank you for accepting the call, Smitty. How's your back doing?
My back's doing okay, but hey, let me put this caller on hold here. 424 caller, who is this and where are you calling from? (424) caller, where are you calling from? What's your name, bro?
Redondo Beach. This is Chris. How you doing, Schmitty?
What's up, Chris? Chris from Florida?
No, Redondo Beach.
Oh. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
So basically, I just
hey, tight. I just wanted to put you on hold here. I got another caller in here, and I just wanted to get you on the docket here. Okay, so hang tight for me. Jason from Cali, hit me with it, bro.
Thanks, Smitty. So just wanted to say, Achane to the moon. Picked up Watson off waivers. Bro dropped 27 for me. I'm winning by 80. Started Purdy. It was like my buy get in, whatever you called it, buy my get in.
Yep.
And dropped 150. Still got Calvin Ridley and the Jacksonville defense to play. Probably just wanted to see like how your back was doing actually, and say Achane to the moon. Fuck the doubters. That's about it.
My back. Thank you. Appreciate you. My back's okay. It's definitely better. It's definitely better. I've been doing a lot of yard work and stuff, and I'm paying people to do most of my yard work, the tough stuff. But I'm still like building like pull-up bars that they're going to install. I'm still moving all kinds of like cement blocks and things. I started to do work projects on my own, so that's how I pulled it out. But it's good enough to where I can pick up like 60, 70-pound cement blocks, and I'm still moving them. But my back hurts a little more because of that. I didn't give myself a lot of rest. But it's better. But thank you. Appreciate you. Achane to the freaking moon. It's going to be interesting to see when these Achane haters come in here. I don't know if they're going to just vanish. But it's been a crazy, crazy week. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm not like annoyed. I know a lot of people think I'm annoyed by it, but it's crazy how many Achane haters there are. It's insane. It's insane, bro.
Well, from your advice, Smitty, I was out of the playoffs. I made a few trades, picked up like Mike Evans, Achane, Ridley. So, just wanted to shout you out, say thanks. And then if you ever try just sitting on the ground and like laying on your back and tuck your knees to your chest and kind of roll around on the carpet.
Yep.
I work at a gym, and like we work with people who have like issues like that. So
yeah,
I know that one kind of helps.
I do that. I kind of like roll on each side, and then I roll in the middle, and then I also you do that exercise where you put your back, the curve of your back, you make it flat, and you push down for like 10 seconds, let go, and a bunch of different like leg raises and things. I definitely thank you, appreciate that. Definitely have a lot of those exercises from when I've done physical therapy on it and stuff. But I normally don't have a lot of back problems. I did when I was younger, and they haven't come back for like 30, 20 something years. But anyway, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
All right, peace out, brother.
Yeah, later, bro. Appreciate you. All right, let's go over to Chris. Chris, what can I do for you, bro?
Man, I just wanted to say, man, Trey McBride, like you said earlier, is definitely going to have to be considered as a league winner, I think. If you got him, I think you're going to be doing really good in your playoffs.
Yeah, McBride.
The dude has been a monster, man.
He's one of the you can say hottest players at the position, bro. There aren't a lot of tight ends that have done what he's done over the last handful of weeks, so he's on fire. And he's done it with like different quarterbacks, a number of different quarterbacks. So he's almost quarterback proof, which is fantastic. And it makes you wonder how good he really could become.
The dude is a baller.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how really good he could become too. Because when you can do that with multiple quarterbacks, you're the real deal. You're not just like the system guy.
Doubt.
You're not just the target of that one passer. You know, where you're like, okay, well that guy's kind of made by that quarterback. No, he's the one there doing the work. Like he's fantastic.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. But yeah, I had a question too in regards to Zay Jones moving forward. Do you think, I feel like he might surprise a lot of people moving forward.
Zay Jones
might be a little sleep. Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate it, but I mean,
I know he was hurt.
Yeah, I
know
guess
he was hurt, but man, the dude, he could be a nice little, add on to your team if you're hurted with the injuries or whatever. But I just feel like moving forward, if he's on the waiver wire, you probably pick him up for sure because moving forward, he's in the ball out watch.
Yeah,
in the next few weeks.
Would not shock me at all if Zay Jones had a couple of those games, for sure. But I definitely feel like it's Ridley's team right now. I think Kirk is probably a little bit better option, but he's there's rotations that go on, and he certainly could be in the mix. But I think that's not a bad name. What else you got? Anything else?
Definitely. I think that's it. Well, Jordan Love and Matthew Stafford moving forward. I mean, obviously you have to go with Love. He's kind of hot right now, right? But today, Stafford dropped almost 30 points. I think it was 29 points.
I think you lean. I think you lean Love, but a matchup could maybe sway you, that kind of thinking. But yeah, your default should be Jordan Love, and then you just kind of play it by ear. Something feels right, or someone's banged up, or the Watson thing concerns. We'll figure it out this week. But yeah, Love looks great, man. He's in a groove. And keep in mind, he was a top 5 quarterback at the very beginning of the year for multiple weeks, and people just kind of glossed over that. He went through a bad streak, but he's back, man. He looks really, really good. The team believes in him. The offense looks good. He just beat a very good defense. I know they got banged up during the game, but he's doing some good things before some of the injuries occurred. So Love got it done. Love's looking really, really solid. People overreacted too quickly on Love and T-Law. No
doubt, for sure.
And what's weird is I just want everybody watching to know, I'm not always going to be too early on players. I know people think that because the last 2 years, some of the Moon Men have really gotten slow starts, but that's not traditionally how over the 20 plus years of me doing this professionally. I did fantasy radio for 19 straight years on the longest fantasy football radio show in the world.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I've been doing it a while. So this isn't I could tell you the pattern better than another person. And I could totally let you know that don't always think that we're going to have years like this where a lot of the guys that are on the bold predictions take a while to get going. It's just been a weird 2 years, and injuries have been worse than ever. But Jordan Love and T-Law are 2 quarterbacks that they weren't in my top, 4 or 5. They're more so T-Law and Love were at the back end of the top 10. They were in my top 10. And they were surprise guys. They were especially great, or Love was a great super flex quarterback, as was Howell, as was a couple other guys. And so Jordan Love's taken off exactly like we wanted him to take off, and he's doing great. T-Law is looking better and better, and I think he's going to continue to evolve. And his team's winning. People are judging him too harshly, I think. But both of them are solid quarterbacks for the future. We'll see what they're able to do in the coming weeks here.
And one more question, Schmitty. So you probably talked about this earlier in your live, but I probably missed it. But Ezekiel Elliott, is he someone for sure we can probably depend on if you're desperate for a running back?
Yeah, if you're desperate for a running back, bro. I mean, my guess
Brian Robinson got hurt too as well, right?
Brian Robinson got hurt. We'll find out more on him tomorrow. But my guess is Stevenson, whose X-rays were negative on his ankle. My guess is that Stevenson's going to miss a boatload of time, though. X-rays are negative to know if he's out for the year.
Right,
so X-rays negative doesn't mean he's coming.
They linger.
Yeah, especially if it was a high ankle. But all right, bro, got to go. Appreciate you.
See you later, buddy.
All right, let's go over to Brandon from Minnesota. Then we'll go to Donnie Bravo. Actually, let me put this caller on hold real quick. Hold on, guys. 817, who's this? Where are you calling from? I'm sorry, 817. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. What's your name, bro?
Luis.
I'm sorry?
Luis.
Luis from Texas. All right, hold on one second, Luis. I'm going to get to you in a second. Luis from Texas.
Okay.
All right. Let's go over to, who did I say was next? Brandon? Brandon, you're live.
Yo, what's up, City?
What's up, pal?
So I benched both DK and Nico.
Oh, bro.
I'm still pulled off.
Hold on.
Pulled off 150
Finish
points.
him.
I was going to hang up on you just to mess with you, but I was just kidding. Go ahead. Okay, tell me what you did again.
Yeah.
Tell me what you did again.
I benched both DK and Nico.
Okay.
But I still put up 150, so it's not the biggest.
Did you still win?
Yeah, I won.
Then no harm, no foul.
Points.
No harm, no foul. But man,
yeah. So,
who'd you start in place of him?
So I have St. Brown as my wide receiver 1, so I wasn't going to sit him regardless. But in place, I did Evans and Pittman.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. I mean that. I mean, bro, Pittman and DK were a close call. Everyone could pretend that they know that wasn't. Now the problem though, without Tank Dell, is Nico versus DK. I mean, what the hell do you do now, bro? You should have made some trades before the deadline. What in the hell are you gonna do?
I know that's kind of my biggest like regret is I should have traded maybe a couple of those receivers away, like maybe Pittman and Metcalf. But anyways, so I'm pretty sure Nico's got to be locked into my wide receiver 2 at this point. So the big question is, who do I flex between Evans, Pittman, and Metcalf?
I mean, I don't know. Matchups are going to determine that. Phil, appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Phil. I don't know. Honestly, bro, I'd be making shit up right now for you. Oh yeah, I said I don't know what you're gonna do. I said that to you. I don't know what you're gonna do each week. You're gonna have to call in, and we're gonna have to do a poll to get groupthink on your question from week to week. I have no idea what you're gonna do.
Okay.
I mean, St. Brown is a must. Let's start there. Evans, I don't know how Evans isn't a must either. And then, so really it comes down to DK, who is volatile, even though it's really hard to sit DK after that big game. How often does that get repeated? And how often are you disappointed the game after something like that? You got to factor all that in. And then you got Nico now, who's a top 10 wide receiver. Like, you almost got to go Nico, St. Brown, and Evans. But how do you put Pittman on the bench? How do you put DK on the bench? I don't know, bro. I'd probably say, in general, I'm feeling Nico, St. Brown, and Evans.
Okay.
In general.
All right, cool. Yeah, I was kind of just looking for clarification.
In a vacuum.
That way too, but
All right.
Yeah.
Brandon, appreciate you, bro.
All right, thanks, man.
Later, bro.
Yep.
All right, Donnie Bravo, you are up next. Then Lewis, and then Tony. So Donnie Bravo, you're up. What can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty. Hope your back's doing okay.
Yeah, it's good.
I wanted to ask. Next week, I'm in like a must-win position. And I have to bench either Bijan, Pollard, maybe even Puka. But I have to start 2 out of those players. Like who? And Pollard's going against Philly.
Yeah.
So if I had to start 2 and bench 1, and I had Bijan, Pollard, and Puka.
Yeah, that's tough. Let me pull up the schedule because I'm still in week 13 mindset, bro. I haven't memorized the schedule, believe it or not.
I won this week, so I'm already looking into next week, and like I'm in a must-win position, so I'm already like trying to figure out my lineup for next week.
Yeah. So next week, God, what an awful. I hope Ron Navy's not in here. I know this probably burns for him to hear, and I don't mean it in a negative way toward the Steelers. You know, I feel bad for the Steeler fans and for Ron and everybody, but what an awful Thursday game that's going to be. He'd probably be the first one to admit it. I bet you if Ron was here, he'd call up and go, you know what, Smitty? You're not wrong. The Thursday game is going to be the worst game we've ever seen in the history of the NFL because the Steelers are a bunch. You know, he would go nuts right now if he was here. Patriots versus the Steelers. That's gonna be awful with no Pickett. And okay, let's see here. You said what was the question again, bro? Pollard. Okay, here's right in front of me. Bijan, Pollard. So Bijan is again. I haven't memorized the schedule, so I'm looking at it right here. Bijan is
against Tampa.
Against Tampa. Oh, it's the first game there on the morning games. Okay, and then Pollard.
Pollard against the Eagles.
Yeah, and that's at home in Dallas. And then Puka Nacua. I got it right here. Yeah, Puka Nacua.
Baltimore.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. I'm starting Puka for sure. I mean, look what he just did. And Cup does feel like he's fading a little. You know, he still scored, and it was a good game for Cup. But it comes down to the two RBs. And I don't know. We're going to have to feel this out. I can't give you an answer now. All I can really say.
Your laundry timer is done.
Yeah, my other starting running back is Gibbs. So I don't really want to bench him. He's going against Chicago.
Ziggy, add 10 more minutes to the laundry timer.
10 minutes added. You now have about 10 minutes left.
Thank you, Ziggy. I have. I promised Miss Mitty I would do the laundry tonight so she could go to bed earlier, flip it over, and so I'm going to be in trouble if I forget. I got to keep setting a timer for Ziggy. I'm going to say right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro.
Here is your reminder. Laundry.
Ziggy's worthless.
It's a tough call.
Let's ask Rockout. Rockout, are you starting Pollard next week? Pollard against the Eagles in Dallas, or are you starting Bijan at home against the Bucks? And chat, what are you doing? What are you doing, chat? What are you going to do here? You're going to go Pollard versus Philly, or Bijan versus the Bucks? Rockout? I guess Rockout's not there. Let's see what the chat says. All right, hey Donnie, check the chat for the vote on it. I guess I would say I'm leaning toward Pollard, but I don't know. I want Bijan to be that guy so badly this week. I really do.
Arthur, man.
I really do.
It's Arthur. Yeah, Arthur, like they won the game, and they didn't, I mean, they gave Bijan 18 carries. But
you know what? I'm gonna say I'm just gonna put my balls on the table. I'm gonna say Bijan. Go Bijan.
All right.
I'm just gonna put. It does feel like it's risky, but I'm gonna do it. It's the riskier play. The guaranteed touches are nice for both of them. I want to go Bijan. Bijan and Puka. Put your balls on the table. You got it.
I gotcha. All right. Thanks, Smitty.
All right,
Have
later,
a good
bro.
one.
That's tough. Ask me again tomorrow, though.
I got you.
Lewis from Texas, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Real quick, first of all, I wish I would have listened to you early on in the season. I didn't, and my season's over.
I'm sorry.
I give away Stroud and so many more players, but the first thing I got to say is HN to the moon, to Mars, and Jupiter. You were 100% right, and next season I'll be looking forward to whatever you say. But my only question will be, for next week, I've been starting Downs the last 2 weeks. Would you start Downs over JSN, Pierce, and Mitchell? Keaton Mitchell from Baltimore?
God, Keaton Mitchell's like exciting, but like could shart the bed hard.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I really like him though, man. I really hope they start using him more. I don't know what the usage looks like.
What's up? It wouldn't matter. I mean, my season's over, but I mean, basically, I just want to say to all the A-Chain haters, because I was one of those, and I'll be the first person to admit it. Attaboy. I don't know if you had one tonight, but you were 100% right on him. You're honestly right about everybody. You were right about Dell. You were right about Gibbs. You've been right about everybody. And if more people listen to you, maybe their season would have been better, because I'm the commissioner of my league, and my season went to complete crap. And if people were listening to me, it'd be better.
I appreciate that. I will say I don't have everything, but I appreciate that. I will say some of what's been happening in the last 2 years, if I'm being honest, has been a lot of late blooming. You know, like even with the Watson thing, and then bad luck and injuries. Even though we're still hitting a ton, we're hitting. I mean, we are the show. A lot of the show content's on fire, but some of the stuff that isn't on fire, like that's getting hit with injuries and bad luck. Just, I mean, a lot of no content's going to be bulletproof, but I think some of the stuff is like even Watson before he got hurt tonight. It's like. That potential was all there in week 1 and week 2 and week 3, week 4. It's so frustrating to watch. And the same thing with Gibbs, the same thing with Bijan. Like, we all know what Bijan could become. But I appreciate that. But we certainly don't hit everything. I don't hit everything, but I always try my best and always try and get better every single year too for you guys. So next year will be fun, bro. And you got to use your own, assessment along with it. And let me guide you, not make your decision. You know what I mean? Like if you're on the fence about
we're all going to choose our decisions. And one last question: when do you start doing your preseason analysis and all of that for next year?
January 1.
Really?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Bro. What do you think this is? A Mickey Mouse show?
This is the first time I listen to. I listen to you starting around week 4 or 5, like I said. So okay, for sure.
Yeah, bro. I start my content for the next season on January 1. I literally dropped the rookie receiver rank. The rookie running back, receiver, wide receiver, quarterback rankings. I create more content on January 1 through kickoff than I do from kickoff through now.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't slow down. There's no, take a 3-month break or 2-month break. No, it's like January 1. It's like, are you ready? Okay, buckle up. Here we go. 2024. And we just start getting right into it, bro. This is nonstop. It's nonstop. It's like air. Doing this is like air to me. It's not, there's no break. Sometimes my back hurts, but that's it. We're good.
And I hope you're doing better with your back injury, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't mention that.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. All right. Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're good.
Later.
Yes, sir.
Rock out, try again. I don't know. Sometimes if there's a certain caller on, other calls can't be accepted. It's weird, bro. Tony, you're live. Hopefully it's not Tony. Tony, you're live. What can I do for you?
Smitty, man, what's going on with the back, bro? Talk to me. I just tuned in maybe 10 minutes ago.
I pulled it. So I got like food poisoning and pulled my back out. Probably some of it was from dry heaving, but I pulled my back out. I was moving a whole bunch of like yards. I'm doing my yard, redoing my yard. Moved a whole bunch of stones, and they're like 50 pounds each, and some of them heavier. And I put my back in a very probably vulnerable position, and then I just reached down to pick up the small dog that weighs like 6 pounds. And when I just reached down, it just blew. I was like, oh! So for like 2 days, I could barely move. I couldn't sleep. But it's fine, bro. It's not a big deal. It hurts,
It sounds like you primed yourself for like a little spasm action, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I've had one in my neck, and I couldn't do anything for like 36 hours one time.
Yeah, it definitely is a pull. It's definitely a pull.
You probably need some manual work on the muscle tissue, and then like an Epsom salt bath with a bunch of Epsom salt. I'm talking about like put the whole bag in. Put like the whole 6 pounds or 8 pounds in the bag inside. Do you have a bathtub at your place?
I cold plunge, baby. It fixes it. It literally fixes it for like 3 hours.
That's even better.
It's great, bro.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it. I appreciate the advice, though. What can I do for you for fantasy, Tony? No one cares about my back.
Fantasy, man. Fantasy. Okay, let's talk playoffs. Are you ready for that, or
yeah? Keep it as brief as possible, but go ahead, hit me with it.
How you feeling about the Chargers in general? I've got Herbert, I've got Allen, I've got Ekeler. My intuition this week was to bench Ekeler, and I played him over some not so great options in Garrett Wilson, Thielen. Who else was on the bench? I had Gibbs on the bench, which I know is crazy, but I just know that New Orleans kind of limits the pass to running backs, and they're overall a pretty good run D. But going forward, I don't have the trust in Ekeler, and I really don't have much trust in Herbert. I do have Purdy, but his, rest of the season is not the best. He's got one good matchup week 17 in the championship game, and outside of that, he plays Baltimore, I think, off the top of my head. Any thoughts on Purdy versus Herbert and benching Ekeler for now until he kind of think the Chargers can get something going? Or do you
Ekeler,
think that
who
New
is the bench? Ekeler versus who? Somebody says, hold on one second. Mark says, why does nobody care that someone in the chat won $30K? Someone in our group here, in our subscribers, somebody won the weeklies. Is that what somebody's saying? Hold on one second, bro. Let me just figure this out. All right, let me see here. Somebody won the weeklies. Is that what you're saying? Let's see. Harrison wrote. Is that what it is? Let me see. Let me go to the weeklies and see if I see this name. Go to drafts, Underdog Fantasy. If anybody isn't doing Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's see if this guy won the weeklies. Let me go down because that's what 30K is. 30K is the weekly winner for the. Let's see. View the leaderboard. I don't see Harrison there at that's 20K, I guess. I don't know. I'll wait for him to chime in. But somebody says I didn't care. It's not that I don't care. I just didn't see it, bro. Okay, as for Herbert, Purdy, I would start Purdy right now. And he's forward. Yeah, 713 caller or 971 caller. Who's this?
This is Harrison.
Harrison, what's up, my guy? Hang tight real quickly. Let me help Tony, and then I'll come straight to you. And then I got Eric, and then I got Rockout on the line too, and I'll let Rockout join us when we talk about this. But hang tight, Harrison.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from, bro?
No worries.
Where are you calling from? Oregon. And you won 30K on Underdog.
30K.
Nice job, bro. Was Achane on your team?
Of course he was on my team. Long time listener, first time caller, and of course Achane was on my team.
Our boy Harrison won 30K, and he did it using Achane. Actually, what was your team, real quick? Tell me your team. I want to know this now.
Oh, I had
hang tight,
Brock
Tony.
Purdy, my quarterback. Kamara, Achane, Tyreek Hill. Somebody you've been pounding the drum on, Deebo Samuel, and Sam Laporta. $30,000.
Laporta, bro. Damn. I'm proud of you, pal. I'm proud of you. That's a good squad. What was the contest? What was the contest, bro? Was it the
$5 in the main slate?
Wow. Nice job, Harrison. Draven says, let me get 100. Draven, call in real quick, Draven. We'll let you beg for $100 from him real quick. See if he'll cash app you 100. All right, Harrison, I will be expecting at least a $20 super chat at some point between now and the end of the year. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had to call my friend and ask him if I was awake. I said, am I awake right now? He said, what do you mean, Harrison? I said, I just won $30,000. Am I awake or am I fucking dreaming? Sorry,
that's awesome.
Excuse my French.
That's right. That's awesome, bro. So the main slate games, let me go in and so you're the leaderboard. Harrison 1992 is the winner of. You guys can see it. Let me put the screenshot on here right now. Harrison, my man. Let's see here. Leaderboard. Let me send this to my computer here so I can put it on screen. You aren't joking, bro. That's phenomenal. That's exciting. We've had a lot of people win like 5 and 6, 7K this year. That will message me and say, "Hey."
I want to tell you that not only did I win first this week, but last week, if you look and you played, I won 13th and 14th place last week.
Attaboy, using show guys. Look at this. Kamara all off season long. Achane beating that drum like crazy. Deebo beating that drum like crazy. This team's amazing. Hill's been going crazy for you. Great job, bro. Great job. I almost had this exact team too. I had everything but Purdy, I believe. I think the difference between that two was like 1,000 places. You know, like I think this team that had this exact lineup minus Purdy, I forget what quarterback, but quarterback I had didn't do like awful either. I think he had 2 TDs. It might have been Tua. I think it was Tua. And I don't think this team was like 1,000th place or something.
Yeah, crazy story, Smitty. I hadn't been watching football all day, and I slept in. I went out to lunch with a friend. My real fantasy team was doing trash. Tank Dell was out, 0 points. And I was like, I give up on fantasy today. I get home around 3 o'clock.
Get 30K
I put on the Philly San Francisco game. I pull up the Underdog Fantasy app.
Harrison.
I look at my app and I go, oh my God, I got a team. I'm winning $1,000 right now. I'm in 10th place, guys.
And it climbed, and it kept climbing, and then
I look up at the screen. 48-yard touchdown. Birdie to fucking Samuel. I got both those guys on my team. I'm freaking out. I look at the thing. I keep refreshing.
Purdy, touchdown. Another touchdown. Bro, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. Draven, call in again. All right.
I'm here.
Oh, Draven's here. All right. Draven, go ahead and do your best begging session to try and get $100 from Harrison, who won $30K on Underdog today. First place on the main slate, Battle Royale Week 13. Harrison, did you draft this team with us on the stream or no?
No, not on the stream, but I drafted. It's kind of a crazy story.
No, we don't have time. We don't have time. No offense, but we don't have time for another story. Hey.
No worries. I started 2 weeks ago. I did 2 drafts, $5, turned it into 25. Kept that $25 turned it into 70. Week 12, I told you I got 13th and 14th place. I turned that in 70 to 770. Nice. And this week, all
right, hang on. Let's let Draven beg. Okay, Draven, go ahead. You got 30 seconds to beg.
Harrison, I know you don't know me, man. Okay, but listen, dude. I manifested this. Okay, me and Smitty, we won 100, but 50 each. 50 for Smitty, 50 for me, because we manifested this. I believed in you, and it got done. Listen, dude, I know you don't know this, but I actually drafted on Underdog Fantasy, and I picked every team, and I'll let you win it, bro. So you got to help me out. You got to give me 50 and Smitty 50. We love you. We love everything.
You know where you went wrong, Draven? You know where you went wrong? You said you got to give me 50 and Smitty. You say, hey, can I have 50, please? I don't know, Draven. I don't think that's going to get it done. I don't think that's going to get it done.
You'll be right. I mean, like, Draven, my question to you is, like, is Smitty at least running a 40-yard dash for this 50 or what?
Oh, my God. Yo, if you drop 1K right now, you got to do it, bro. You got to do the 40-yard dash. You have to. If you drop 1K, dude, you got to get up right now with your back and hobble on one leg.
Let's let Harrison decide. Harrison, for a $100 super chat, at some point during the year, $20 super. You name the price. You tell me what you need, and I'll take care of it. You need me to run a 40-yard dash? That's fine. You want me to walk in with my cell phone and make it live and wake up Miss Smitty with a drum or a guitar? That costs $200.
You can do a 40-yard dash right now. Oh, my God.
All right, Draven. All right, calm down, Draven. All right, let me get back over to Tony while Harrison thinks on that. Tony, hit me with your question. It was Herbert versus Purdy. I think based on Harrison winning 30K using Purdy, I think that's a good formula for right now until Herbert and the Chargers decide to use their weapons properly. But what was your other question? And then I'll let you jump.
Yeah, so Ekeler. Are you trusting Ekeler at all? I'm looking at his game log. The past few games, he's played a couple of easy defenses. He played Green Bay, put up 6. Played Baltimore, which is a tough defense, put up 6. And then he played at New England and put up 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
awful.
awful.
How can I continue to start?
He's been awful. Who's your replacement?
My running backs are Henry, Gibbs, Najee Harris, and Keaton Mitchell. As it stands, with Ty Chandler down there as a number 5. But I've also got Garrett Wilson as a flex. Jackson Smith-Jigba.
I can't. I mean, as much as it pains me to watch him continue to play bad, I can't sit Ekeler for those players. I don't think. Maybe after one more week, and that'll suck to endure it again. But I don't think I could sit him for Najee. I don't think I can sit him for Garrett Wilson. I mean, Garrett Wilson's situation is no better. It's just a different kind of pain. You know what I mean? So why not roll with the guy that? He's been playing injured. Maybe we find out he's been playing really banged up and he's finally feeling right or something. I would take the gamble on Ekeler. Again, part of it is not Ekeler. Part of it is Ekeler. He's 28 years old, and I said this. That's why I said not to draft him at the beginning of the year. I was one of my biggest avoid players, even though I've said trade for him, and I've admitted that hasn't happened to work out too well yet.
I traded for the guy.
On the low though.
Monty for.
Yeah, on the low though, or not Kyron, but on the low though. Most people I recommend to trade for Ekeler on the low, and that's okay. It didn't burn anybody too badly, but I admit it hasn't been working out that well lately. But I will say that I feel like there's still a shot that at the buy low value is still going to be something that doesn't crush you, and if it doesn't work out. But I think there's still a chance he has a couple big games, but it's certainly not working out well. But your options aren't crazy. We'll see how when a week goes by. Ask me the question again. Maybe Keaton Mitchell ends up having so much more value next week. So swing back around.
I appreciate your time, bro.
All right, later, bro.
All right, bro. Have a great night.
All right, rock out. Rock out. What can I do for you?
Played McLaurin. Unfortunately, I played Javonte.
Okay. What did Javonte end up finishing with?
10.2.
10.2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
And then McLaurin, a donut.
McLaurin, a donut. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Oh, but you didn't play him. Okay, good. Draven still wants his $100.
Is there any chance I'll win this week, Smitty? I have 105, and he has 115. I have T-Law left. He has Mixon and Ingram.
Yeah. Hey, sure.
Hmm?
Is there a chance? Yeah. What's the percentage say your chances are to win? 19%? Something like that?
Let me go check.
Because it'll tell you.
I think I'm only...
Go ahead.
Well, it's okay. I'm projected 123, and he's projected 141.
What's the percentage chance of you winning, though? What's it say? It should tell you an 18% chance, a 23, a 5, 10.
What do you see that at? I'm on the NFL Fantasy app.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have it. Usually it does, but give you a
20,
probability percent. Yeah, I'd say you got a 13% chance, maybe a 9% chance of winning. It's still a chance, bro. It's a dart throw.
I appreciate it. Harrison, I'm ready to run this 40-yard dash. You just hit up my PayPal, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Thank you, Draven. Appreciate you. Get some sleep.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry
thank
to
you.
interrupt. You should never give up on fantasy. This is Harrison.
Yeah. Yeah, Draven, don't give up on fantasy, bro. All right,
Quick little.
What, Harrison?
Go ahead.
Let me go to Eric real quick. Let me then go back to Rock Out, and then I'll go to Sebastian. Actually, Harrison, if you got something quick, go quick.
Oh, I was just gonna say, never give up on fantasy, Draven. I'm 12th in my 14-man league with the second most points, and I'm still in the chance to get into the fantasy playoffs.
Attaboy. Okay, Eric from Cali. What can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, what's up?
Yeah. What's up, pal?
I was just
So I had two things. So one, I wanted to call in and say that we're reaping the benefits of a trade that I actually talked to you about a few weeks ago. And it was I traded Kincaid, Hollywood Brown, Javonte, and Aaron Jones for Deebo and Pollard.
Nice, bro. Deebo is such a good trade for, man. That was great work.
Yeah, it was. I hope he continues to do well. I'm still going to lose this week, unfortunately. I went against Tyreek Hill.
I hate hearing that.
But, yeah. And I didn't have a tight end. I couldn't drop anyone to pick anyone up because I'm in an 8-man league.
Uh-huh. Well, that's...
I into my other question.
Okay, go ahead.
But this one, it might be kind of hard. So it's an important game next week, and I'm like about to either be in or out of the playoff, probably for the last seed that can make it. And I have a start-sit question, and I got a few names in front of me.
Okay.
If you can help me out. I got Zay Flowers, Tony Pollard against the Eagles. I think the Flowers is playing the Rams.
Yep.
Jamar Chase versus the Colts. Keaton Mitchell versus the Rams, and then Brees Hall versus the Texans.
Brees Hall, okay.
And then I can choose one of those guys because my other lineup is just all locked in. I'm starting Bijan and Zach Moss at running back, and Deebo and AJ Brown at wide receiver. So I have one flex open, and it's those names.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think we need to decide later in the week, but I'd say for now, Zay's interesting. But see what Chase does another week with Browning. Like, let's see what happens, and then we'll find out tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. But I think like if that doesn't go well, if it goes well, then maybe we're gonna say, you know what, Chase still has an ability to get 90 yards and a real strong shot at a touchdown. I just think it's more like a 70 yards and no touchdown, like a 7 to like 10 point performance. But I kind of lean Pollard for right now. The Dallas offense is one reason. How he's looked the last 2 weeks, getting a touchdown in each game, is solid. I like Zay Flowers a lot, though. He's pretty safe. Hall's too volatile. Keaton Mitchell, we don't know yet. We got to wait on that one.
Yep.
So, we'll probably need to lean Pollard for right now. But I mean, I wouldn't hate Zay Flowers if you pick Zay. I wouldn't hate that. Chase, I wouldn't hate Chase. They're all three very, very close.
It's
they
hard.
could all be within points.
My only thing was I was looking at it and I was like, if Zay didn't get that touchdown called back like 2 weeks ago for a stupid holding call, we probably would all say go Zay because he would have had like probably 17 points or something on that night too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough one. The Cowboys offense is doing well, but yeah, the Eagles run D kind of scares me, and they don't. The line never opens up holes for Pollard. It seems it's like really tough.
Yeah,
really tough out there.
I think the fact that he's playing well though makes me feel. Let's wait till tomorrow and see what Chase does, and then we'll revisit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. 100%.
All right, bro.
And then, dude, yeah, one more thing. What is with the Jets O-line? I know they were all banged up, but I'm like waiting for them to get healthier, and then nothing ever happens, and Brees only gets 2 yards to carry still.
But that's the thing is, it's not just one thing. Like, I know everybody wants to act like, oh, the line sucks, and it's not just that the line sucks. It's that when they've got to like block for a bad quarterback, no one's getting open. Like, you can only blame the offensive line for so much, and then they start getting injured and they start playing, too hard and start breaking down. It's like a defense with a bad offense. How much better would the Jets defense be if they weren't on the field all the time? Like that, all that stuff cascades back and forth. So I don't really feel like the Jets offensive line is as bad as it probably looks. Like, I think that if Aaron Rodgers stepped right in there, we'd see a different result. Offensive lines are I don't want to say like 50%, but they're a portion of the productivity is due to how good they are. A portion of it is good to how good the coaching is. Some coaches can coach up a no-name offensive lineman every single time. And then another portion of it, let's call just throwing arbitrary numbers, 33% that, 33% coaching. And then the other 33% is the offense itself. Like I always say with Arizona back in the day with Kurt Warner, when Kurt Warner came over to play behind the Arizona Cardinals' very bad offensive line, they were amazing offensive line because he had a quick release and it was a spread out attack. And, you had to worry about where this greatest show on turf that Kurt Warner transferred over to Arizona, where these wide receivers were at. You spread the defense out, all of a sudden you got no problem. So it's all related, man. And I don't think you can say that this or that is going wrong. And it's the whole thing. The whole thing's falling apart in New York. It's awful. It's the worst. It's the worst unraveling of a bunch of fantasy players I've seen in a while. To have Aaron Rodgers go down ruined Aaron Rodgers, who is a crafty Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence territory quarterback in terms of ranking. That's about where he was going to be. Aaron Rodgers could have been QB6, QB7, QB5. Not only did we lose that, we lost Breece Hall. We lost Garrett Wilson. It was just a freaking debacle. 3 big name players got knocked out with one injury, and everything else just crumbled, and it's continuing to crumble. So,
yeah, crazy. And then last thing I wanted to say, everyone, if I would have found Smitty earlier in the year, I'm sure I would probably be in first place in my league because he's been right on pretty much everything. Not everything, but like
I appreciate that, bro.
Like 70 to 80% of all the stuff he said. He predicted Achane. He predicted Kamara. Brees before the Jets sucked, and
that sucked. Yeah,
there's so many good
those
players.
things go.
Pollard, Deebo.
I appreciate it, bro. You're the man. Eric to the moon.
Thanks, Smitty.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
Marsman, rock out. You got anything else, bro?
Yeah, you got any thoughts on Zeke?
Any spots on what?
Zeke Elliott.
What do you mean?
You think he's like a back end
Thoughts on Zeke. I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Yeah, I mean, I think Elliott's value goes up immediately. I mean, let's see, what was his workload this week? He had 17 carries for 52 yards. That's 3 yards a carry. So I mean, like in 4 for 40 receiving, 4 catches for 40 yards. That was very nice. So I think he's a fantastic. Him and probably. I would imagine him and what's his face in Tennessee. So tired, blanking on his name.
Spears.
What? Tajay Spears. Spears and Elliott are probably the 2 top. I mean, off the top of my head, I've got to look at it all. But Spears and Elliott are probably two of the top players you pick up at running back walking into next week. So, I mean, do I think that they're locks for running back 2 volume? I don't know, but I think if, let's say, Spears starts, I think he probably will be. If Zeke starts, he'll probably produce running back 2 numbers pretty easily. I think he'll get like 12 points. Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as Mars, man, is it based on the last place on the points or the record?
The toilet bowl. So the last place in the toilet bowl gets bumped down to the Moon Man League. For anybody who doesn't know, we did a Mars Man and Moon Man League. There's 24 people involved, very limited seats, and the loser of the Mars Man drops down to the Moon Man League for the next year, and the winner of the Moon Man gets to go into the Mars Man League, and it's gonna be fun. Hopefully I don't lose it, bro. I got such a good team. I think I lost again this week. My team is unbelievable. It just continues to lose. I can't get a win for anything. I got Brock Purdy even. My team's been devastated with injuries, but I continue to truck along. It says I have a 13% chance to win. I've got Ridley versus McManus, and I'm down by like 13 points. So I'm going to lose again. And my team is Brock Purdy, Austin Ekeler, who's done nothing, Achane, Puka Nacua, Calvin Ridley, Travis Kelce, Chris Olave. This is, mind you, this is a 12-man league. This is not an 8-man league. This is not a 10-man league. This is the Marsman League. You saw us do the draft live with 12 of us, me and 11 of the viewers here that are a special group called the Marsmen. Purdy, Ekeler, Achane, Puka, Ridley, Kelce, Olave, JSN, Jets defense. How does that team have 3 wins? How does that team have 3 wins? I had AR5. He went down. It's unbelievable. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter. The best teams can fail. You know, that is one of my favorite teams this year too, and I still love it. Like, I'm not like, oh, that was my favorite team, and I still love that team. I absolutely love that team. I can't believe it. I can't believe that it's still losing. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose this week. Purdy at 37.46 points in this league, and I'm still losing. I had Achane score 25.3, and I'm still losing. I had Puka Nacua 23.9, I'm still losing. Olave had 119 yards. I'm still losing. Unbelievable. All right, Rock Out. I'll see you later, bro.
All right, cool.
All right, let me go back over. Sebastian, you're next. Harrison, any final thoughts? Appreciate you, Harrison. Thank you for calling in. For those that don't know, I got super chats that I got to answer right here. Jaime, appreciate you. DeBolt, appreciate you. And Asan has 2 super chats. I'm going to get to your super chats next. Harrison, who's on the line right now, is a consistent watcher of this channel, and he won the Week 13 Battle Royale on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. He won it. This is our boy. This is our boy. Harrison, can you confirm that this is your main channel? We don't say other names here. You don't name drop, but this is your channel?
What other?
What?
I don't know the other channel.
You don't know any channel. Can you say it again? I might clip this. Can you say, Harrison, the winner of the Underdog Fantasy Week 13 Battle Royale 30K is on the phone right now. Harrison, what is the channel you trust? What is the channel you watch on YouTube?
I mean, the only show is the Smitty Show, but I mean, that's the only thing I know.
That's right. Harrison won 30K. Take it from him. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Harrison did it. If Harrison can do it, you can do it. Harrison, appreciate you, bro. Anything else?
Can I get a quick whiteboard real quick? I just wanted to show you guys my 14-man team and show you guys, have you guess my record?
All right, as quick as you can, Harrison.
Okay, I got Herbert at quarterback. I got Olave, Dell, Watson, JSN, and Rice at wide receiver. Ekeler, Gibbs, Hall at running back. And I have Laporta and Taysom Hill at tight end.
You want me to
This
guess?
is a 14-man.
You want me to guess your record?
Yeah.
3 wins.
Yeah, I got 4 wins with 1,563 points. The second most in the league.
The reason I would say that is because there's been some ups and downs, and I bet you it hasn't all lined up at once for you. It's been like one thing after another.
Definitely up at once, but I mean, this week it lined up for once, but not on my fantasy lineup.
Yeah.
But
man.
30K. Who cares about what I did this week?
I know, Harrison, you should be happy for like a 2 or 3 years go forward, no matter what happens. You got like an injection of happiness from fantasy football. Congrats on your 30K, bro. Congrats.
And Draven, don't give up.
Yeah, Draven, don't give up. And Draven, don't give up on maybe somehow, some way, him slipping you 100 down the road. You never know. You never know. And I may or may not be looking for a $20 super chat once in a while. All right, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my information on there, but I appreciate you. Thanks for everything you do, Smitty. I'll always be watching.
Harrison to the moon.
Save my.
What?
To the moon.
Later, bro. All right, Sebastian.
Save my number, Smitty.
Yeah, I got it. I got you in the system, bro. Harrison, you're in here. Sebastian from Cali, you're the final caller. What can I do for you? Then I'm going to get to these super chats. Hassan, the Bolt, and Jaime. Go ahead, Sebastian.
First, I just want to say thank you for all the amazing advice and feedback you give me all year.
Thank you.
And second, I wanted to say I managed to score 170 points without Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor this week.
Wow, bro.
So I'm super stoked.
Who's your team? Just read it off real quick, the starters.
It's going to be, all right, Hurts, Gibbs, Moss, Smith, Samuel, McBride, Watson, and Aubrey.
Nice, man. Sorry about Watson. Yeah, that sucks. Watson was gonna be unreal.
He was on one today for sure.
Yeah, he Watson was about to become the player we always thought he would be all year long. It's crazy, bro. Absolutely insane.
So assuming Watson is healthy, who would you sit out of Smith, Samuel, and Watson?
He's not healthy though, but Smith, Devonta Smith, Deebo Samuel, and you said Watson?
Yeah.
Let's pretend he was healthy. I still think these are your two guys, Deebo and Devonta Smith. But Watson's not going to be able to play, bro. I don't think so. I think he's back to square one at the minimum. I think because it healed enough, he probably isn't going to go well past square one. Usually if you tear something and you give it like 2 or 3 weeks and you come back and you tear it right away, you not only go back to square one, which was 3 weeks, you go another week or two past that if you're not even worse off. Given that he played relatively healthy for weeks, I have a feeling he is kind of like 2 or 3 weeks away, but who the hell knows? Hopefully somehow, some way, man. Somehow, some way. There's some sort of, I don't know, some sort of like, good news in this, that it was like cramping or, they didn't know and they thought, oh, they were taking a precaution. Because remember, he went to the sideline. He limped off. They didn't really know too much. And then they showed him on the sideline. He wasn't in the tent. He wasn't with trainers. And he had his helmet off, and he was just kind of mad. But he wasn't like in the locker room. He wasn't on a cart. So maybe. We'll have to see.
I think it may have been cramps just because like, he didn't look horrible like when the game ended, like in his facial expressions, but for all I know, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But final question, Moss or Spears next week, if Henry's out?
Let's play it by ear. I don't know what I want to commit on that yet. I would say like I lean Moss. I think Moss is still good. I wouldn't use one game to get panicked on him, but I also expect this kind of like volatility a little bit from him versus being a running back one the whole season like everybody expected,
Oh, he had a tough season.
Yeah.
Times are no joke. Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, Sebastian. Later.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Jaime with a super chat started. Dell, McBride, Nico, Deebo took me to the moon. Appreciate you, Jaime. Jaime to the moon. Nice job. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to that super chat. I apologize, my broski. And then this next super chat is from DeBalt. Sorry it took me so long, DeBalt. You're my man. $5 hauler. 8 leagues in the playoffs and 7 need a dub next week to lock in the last team 100%. Listen to Smitty, everyone. You'll have a better year. Thank you, Smitty. Appreciate you, DeBalt. Appreciate the kind words. I love that everybody's doing so well right now. It's amazing. Amazing to hear. It is amazing. I know some people have had a bad week with the Dell injury and all that, and honestly, we all have because we all had Dell. But, there's still a lot of good stuff going on. And Watson getting hurt sucked too, but there's a lot of good stuff happening today. Achane, what a great situation. Who can I trade for a wide receiver? Lost Dell. Previous super chat. Here we go. $10 hauler from DeBalt.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, my guy. You are the man. Hassan, now full PPR. Russ, Love, Kyron, ETN, Pacheco, Madison, Keaton, Mitchell, DK, Pittman, Lost Dell, Deontay, JSN, Kelsey. JSN and Pittman and DK could almost get it done for you. But if you can still trade, I guess I would kind of be tempted to use. God, I don't know if you can do anything. I mean, you're starting Love, Kyron, ETN, and Pacheco, if that's your flex. And then, if you start a flex and also 3 wide receivers, there's not a lot of maneuverability here. I'd almost say, maybe you're trying to get rid of Pacheco for a wide receiver. You could do like a Pacheco for Cup and something. I bet you could even get something, to be honest. You could trade Etienne away if he doesn't have a good game, and you make this trade before that happens. You could save yourself, or if he has a good game, you could trade him off of a high, big game, a big bounce back game. But there's a little concern with Etienne. Like, I would be somewhat tempted to roll with 2 RBs if you can, Kyren and Pacheco, and you trade Etienne for a wide receiver like Diggs. And if you had to give up something like a Deontay as well or whatever, I probably would do it. That would probably be the move I would make, bro. Diggs is probably the cheapest elite top 5 potential wide receiver around. I don't think there's anybody else left that has that kind of swing that can be had that cheap. I appreciate every single one of you. We've got 400 people still in here. Punch that thumb up button. We need 2, hold on. We need 2 subscribers. And then we'll change it to 24K behind me. We need 2 subscribers, and we're at 24K. So, it's so weird that people watch this over and over and they don't subscribe. But let's hit that button. There's 2 of you out there. I know it because there's 500 of you, 400 of you in here. 2 people, and we're switching this over to 24K. 24K. Do it live. I'm gonna replace it behind me. $24K as we speak. Hit the subscribe button. I'll put it on screen. Subscribe if you're new. Do it live. Let's get to 24K. Punch it. Draven, appreciate you. Silk, appreciate you. Superfish, appreciate you. What's up, Whistle? What's up? All right, we need one more subscriber. Punch the subscribe button if you're watching and you're one of the 400 people that have not yet subscribed to this channel. So many people will just watch it and not subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. And plus, if you don't turn on notifications and subscribe, what are you doing? All right, hit it. We're almost there. One more. I'll even play the song on the way out.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Achane is the man. Go watch that video, by the way. If anybody missed anything, we're at 293. Oh, there it is. This was it before. This is it after. 24,000 subscribers. We did it. We did it live. Replace that image with this one. And that is where we're at. Congratulations to all of you. You guys did this. Doing it live. 24K on the board. 24K on the board. Appreciate you all. That number looks nice. Appreciate every one of you. I will see you all tomorrow. We're live whenever news breaks, as you know. Live after games. So I'll be live before the Monday night game. I'll be live after the Monday night game. And there's probably going to be some sort of live stream beforehand. I assume a breaking news injury live stream. See you all tomorrow.
Achane Achane is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
See you all tomorrow. Deuces.